This week, Sam, Simon, and I look back at the 6 points won versus Swansea and Queen's Park Rangers. We also take a bit of a look ahead at Manchester United and what needs to happen over these last 10 matches for Tottenham. We banter about Lloris and Kane and take a few shots at each other as well. This podcast, however, is dedicated to two souls that we actually lost this week, young Stacey Mowie and Tottenham legend Dave Mackay. Hotspur America is next.
And naturally, I'm a Tottenham man, obviously. I can reflect back to being a player with and manager of some of the finest players that have ever been in the game.
The place is fantastic, the tradition of this club.
To be the manager of 3 cup-winning teams here, I'm so lucky, it's untrue.
Hotspur America podcast, airing every week during the English Premier League season.
What a glory, glory night at White Hart Lane. This great and historic football club. Joyful night down the Tottenham High Road.
Hotspur America, the original US-based podcast dedicated solely to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Gascoigne gonna have a crack? He is, you know. Oh, I say! Schoolboy's own stuff.
I hate Arsenal, just hate them.
Oh, what a goal! Unbelievable! Wow, this is incredible.
We're the Yids in America.
This is there to tap in. What a fantastic run! He scored! And it's turned home, Eric Dyer.
This is your Hotspur America. Episode 28, Season 1 of the Hotspur America podcast. I am Ken. With me today is Sam over in North Dallas area. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
All well, all well.
Simon, with us as well. Simon?
I'm very good, mate. Very good. Recovering from this morning's drinking session.
And still going, right? What are you drinking now?
Some Suffolk cider, English cider, as that was recommended to us from Sean Tottenham. So shout out to him. First shout out, look at that, 1 minute in. Wow. It's a lovely drop.
I can almost smell it.
Yeah. The amazing cider man.
I love it. Before we get started, and a lot of banter to come and fun and games and all that good stuff, but kind of a sad note this morning. Here in the States, we kind of woke up and Twitter exploding with the passing of Stacey Mowie, and I apologize if I've slaughtered her last name. We've only read it, we've never really heard it, so I'm just going to go with either Mowie or Mowie. Lost her battle with cancer. Twitter just exploding with thoughts, prayers, feelings of sentiment towards her mom and dad, her family, close friends. I know a lot of people at the Spurs Poet Day, the Elder, actually, I believe, met her and worked closely with the NLD for Stacey Foundation as they tried to get that event kicked off. Mickey Hazard, there's a wonderful picture floating around Twitter of him kind of holding her and nudging her forward as she scored a penalty in the NLD for Stacey match. Really cool stuff. They were working feverishly at that point to try to raise about £500,000 to try to get her over here to the States for some needed cancer treatments. It was the only way that she had any chance of survival and to live a normal life. But she had lost her battle with cancer, and the three of us have kids, and we cannot imagine the absolute grief and how fruitless any words of ours are going to be to beguile that family or her friends from any grief that they are suffering. But certainly a sad note to start off this podcast. Stacey Mowie was just 9 years old.
Very
cancer. Sad. Very sad. May she rest in peace and love and prayers for her family.
Yeah, and without saying, we'll dedicate this podcast in her memory. We also lost Dave Mackay this week, and this podcast for me was going to be about a dedication to him. But for as legendary as a member as he was to this club, my favorite player ever to pull on the shirt. I have a little bit of a tribute to him for later, and we'll each get a chance to discuss our feelings on Dave. But certainly no little girl, no little boy ever deserves that kind of a fate. And one day, hopefully, we will be able to eradicate that just awful disease off the face of the planet.
Amen.
Well said, Ken. Well said.
Thank you. Let's get right into some football, though. Spurs versus Swansea earlier in the week, Wednesday match, 3-2 win. Kind of I don't want to say a Spursy win. You kind of holding on at the end. Hugo made a wonderful save in the last shot of the game to preserve that win. I thought we looked a little bit kind of in the struggles in the first half, kind of finding our feet against a team that really didn't look like they had any punch whatsoever other than Gylfi and his free kicks. How many posts and crossbars have we been saved by this year?
Good God.
At least a dozen. I can almost literally remember a dozen times we've been saved by the woodwork. But 3-2 win. We'll take the 3 points. And Chadley with just a world-class volley off a very perfectly laid in cross from Rose. I must say, he's been playing out of his skin, and I'm a little upset that he was a little nicked, and Davis got the start today because he's just... I think that competition bringing Davis in, combined with Pochettino's teachings and what he wants out of Rose, and I think it feeds right into his style of game, even more so than Walker, who I still feel is suffering from injury, and I think we discussed that a little bit at the pub this morning. But to have Rose out and Davis in was a little bit of a liability. But if you're going to do it against any team, QPR is probably the team to do it against. But anyway, I digress. We go back one game. Rose with a beautiful cross in. Mason getting his first goal. He's one of our own. Ryan Mason. He's one of our own.
Wow, well done.
Hey, you like that? Yeah, he's one of our own too.
He got the words right.
My God.
Shut up. Cheeky little bastard. And Andros Townsend. Andros Townsend, a beautiful goal because he played. I didn't think he played all that well in the first half, and we were kind of all with bated breath wherever we were watching, wondering if he was going to stay on the pitch much longer in the second half. And then he just has that beautiful run. Kudos to Michael Oliver for letting play go on after Bentaleb got just demolished in his own third. But he saw that Townsend had the run up. He literally had the whistle in his mouth ready to blow, and I think just something in his head said, "Let this go." And what just a wonderful goal, end to end down the pitch that Townsend scored on. But Sammy, I'll start with you. Your thoughts
from the left side. From the left
side.
Sorry,
which is where he should be playing.
I kind of think so too. I've always said I think he's got tremendous athletic talent. He just needs to be put in a place where he can make the least amount of decisions. And on the left, right, blow by people. And what was that? What was that?
That was that was me taking a break. Talk. Anyway.
And he did my head in the first half. He did.
Yeah.
I was ready to pack. I was ready to pack it. I was ready to pack the whole season in that first half.
Oh, shit.
I was so disgusted. I really.
I think after they equalised, we were doing fine up to that point. But what a shambles that goal was. Great free kick from Siggy. A couple of millimetres to the left, that would have just gone in instead of coming back out of the inside of the post. Hugo was stranded, and for it to get back into the box and to the byline, Jan whiffed with his left, correct?
Yes,
yeah.
with his right foot.
Right.
Yeah, so he whiffed on the tackle, really whiffed, and it was just jammy from Key to get to the byline and nutmeg Lloris. That was just, I think it just deflated the side, and they just kind of stumbled their way through the rest of the half. And it wasn't until, even the first 10 minutes were flat in the second half, and I just thought we were going to be rampant after the early goal. Now, thank God, Mason popped up with his goal, because that gave us back that impetus. Until, of course, the last couple of minutes of the game, and it almost went tits up.
It was a roller coaster.
It's a cracking game for neutral.
For probably 25 minutes in the second half, it was gorgeous football. It was like
today.
Like a light switch was flipped. And I want to just circle back to something that Ken said earlier, because I think it's an outstanding point. It's so true. I can remember at least 3 seasons in a row where I felt like every time we needed a coin flip or a piece of luck to go our way, it just never seemed like it went right. Think about that one season. I can't remember which one it was. Simon, you probably know off the top of your head, but it just seemed like in the last 5 minutes there was no question we'd bottle it, we'd lose, we'd have something just dreadful happen to us. And this year, and that Swansea game was a great example of it, and parts today was as well. Man, we have gotten so lucky. We've just ended up on the right side of the coin an extraordinary number of times. At least it seems like to the naked eye. Look, the last minute of that game, that save that Lloris makes, it's just, now granted, that's skill, and he deserved to make that save, but the fact that we were even in that position, and it seems like years before that goal would have gone in, and anyway, That was a strange.
Swansea did not come alive until Siggy got his goal, and don't want to bash on Davis, but he turned his back, and that's the second time I've seen him do that this season. As someone takes a shot, you got to kind of put your body in the line, I'm afraid, and he didn't do that, and the goal went in, and they had all the impetus. It was just one-way traffic for that last 5 minutes, and as we all saw, it could have easily been 3-3, and we'd have all been bitterly disappointed.
Oh yeah,
but.
And that would have been so undeserving. I mean, we were such the better team.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were toothless, really. I mean, other than that I want to call it jammy goal, but it was a bit jammy, and obviously we played our role in contributing to it. But they really did nothing up to that point.
Yeah, it was just like the guffaws that we had against Fiorentina. But it's funny. I agree with you. I actually think that goal was Davis. The second goal was Davis' fault. But there's been some back and forth on Twitter. I think Windy he was getting into it with somebody else, and they were going back and forth. But Walker, it was late in the game, and they put on Moreno, who was a bit dangerous on the left, and Walker, maybe he was nicked, a little banged up from the get-go, and it was late in the match, and he lost his man. But Moreno made a very, very nice move to give himself some space to make that cross. But I think Davis was supposed to pick him up. But not playing, but I didn't think he made many big mistakes today. Did you, with Davies?
That first half, for those watching on TV with the shadow on the stand, it really played havoc with the TV cameras, and obviously we had shadows in the pub on the big screen, so we ended up watching on a little screen at the bar, and it was very hard to kind of follow. Maybe that was because I was drinking 9% beer, but well, let's think about it. The first half, we were at 6s and 7s. We were just all over the place at times, and I would say the first goal was probably against a run of play, but the amount of times they were pinging the ball in the box and hitting the crossbar, we really dodged the bullet first half. Second half, I thought we dominated play, but it could have been a different game if some of those chances that QPR had gone in. At the back, though, QPR were woeful. They really were, and we should have punished them a lot more than we did.
Let me ask this about the Swansea match. We come out blistering the first few minutes, and we get the early goal. Resetting, and Gomes goes down, passes out, or whatever the situation was, heart flutter out. He's got a condition. It's not the first time, but I don't think the players know that.
No.
Hey, which real quick, by the way, I was wondering why Monk just didn't seem arsed about any of that. Like, if I was the manager, I would have been freaking out. And I was like, my God, he's having a heart attack.
Was? Yeah.
And Monk was having a chat with, I think, I can't remember who it was on the touchline, about giving him directions. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, your player's having a heart attack. But I guess he knew that Gomes has a history of fainting.
Possibly, yeah. But I wondered how much it affected, when you have a bunch of 19, 20, 22-year-olds out there on the pitch and you're in that competition, does it affect you? I mean, would it affect you? Or is it more the 6 or 7 minutes that you're having to wait that completely throws you off your game?
You got to remember, for anyone associated with Spurs, the Fabrice Muamba situation is very, very near in the memory, and it was 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and circumstances are virtually the same.
I have a great story. I mean, well, I watched a lot of. I mean, before I started watching the pub, my wife's Brazilian. She's football mad as well, and so I've watched a ton of games with her. We watched that game live, and if you remember, it was very vivid. It showed what happened. You knew what happened when it happened, and my wife and I were in tears because we thought he had died on that pitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was my hair. I look at my arms. The hairs on my arms are standing up. It still to this day haunts me. And remember when the crowd was screaming Fabrice Muamba. Oh, it was just we were almost like we well. And then it was a season ticket holder that brought him back to life, wasn't it?
It was a cardiologist.
Yeah. Oh my God, crazy, just crazy.
Yeah. When that happened, and shout outs to the physios for both squads, because, as you guys said, White Hart Lane it's not a history, but it's happened there before. And, there's a funny video going around about the Villa West Brom thing up in 99 pace for the linesman who got his ass off the pitch really quick. The physios coming onto the field looked like they had 99 pace. Absolutely sprinted because they've lived it. They lived through that with Fabrice Muamba. And the announcers even made mention at other parks, at other pitches, you don't see